This is JWP, JWP Beats. Check out my website, jwpsite.com, for social links. If you'd like to help support what I do, check out my Patreon. Some content there for making. Or my GoFundMe, JWP. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. I'm going to be briefly looking at the Green Glass Flow inset, this XR display. This camera, there isn't really much to show on the computer screen. I am looking at my computer screen through the glasses. So talking about the hardware, it's kind of flimsy. Look at it, but it's plastic. Doing the best I can to do a fair review. It has myopia, so if you wear glasses, you can adjust them each eye to specific amount. Correction, prescription lenses correction. If you have too much, if you need more correction, there is a way to order in a special kind of lenses that will magnetically snap to the inside of glasses. Okay, I'm using the wrong mic. Yeah. I was wondering what was going on. It was quite loud, or I don't know. It wasn't right anyway. So I fixed that. So my back, I'm just going to quickly boost it back up to where it was. All right. So more about the glasses. As I said, you can kind of see the computer screen, and then it gets reflected, sort of a mirror. Oop. Right, it's like a mirror kind of thing. Action happening. They look really big in there, but when you put them on, they're actually quite small. You can see through the glasses that it's small. So it says like 120-inch screen. That's actually more about the software. We're going to be focusing on the hardware here, so we'll get into that later. There's a 3D button on this side. You hold that down, it switches to 3D mode, so it'll take whatever's on screen and sort of break it into two. Whereas without 3D, with 2D, it's the same image on two, but you have the 3D turned on, it'll take that image, break it, and put it size, which is good for side-by-side videos and stuff that are in 3D. The other side is volume, brightness. So these are brightness, and we have a cord. It's totally hardwired in there. So, I mean, if that has to be replaced, that has to go to the technician to be replaced. And on the other side, we have a headphones jack. So I didn't get dedicated headphones. It's supposed to come with short wire headphones, and I didn't get them. It showed in the picture that I was supposed to get them. I got these from AliExpress, Moco Photo, I believe. It was a little more expensive than the other ones, but with all my discounts, it was kind of the same price. Plus, they had a better feedback, so I did get from Moco Photo. As far as the blinders come off. I'm gonna put them on. Take the blinders off. The blinders pop right off. And it's just like now we're sort of wearing prescription lenses. It's kind of weird, right? Like it looks kind of trippy, to say the least. You kind of look like a mad scientist sort of thing. And as far as like bleed through, there's a lot of bleed through without the blinders. With the blinders, there's not so much bleed through. It doesn't take much to get like perfect contrast, and it's pretty decent. However, there are like lots of flaws. I'm doing my best to give a fair review. The blinders are just like this piece of plastic. As far as hardware goes, like this is really reflective on the inside, and I feel like it should be matte instead of a spectral. Like this is a spectral reflective surface, and when you're watching something that has like bright highlights inside of it in the video and stuff, because there's like a mini screen inside, the blinder reflects on the inside, so you can see like the housing, especially when there's like bright lines and everything else is kind of dark. You can see like this really big glare behind it. It's really distracting. I'd almost want to take like sandpaper and just sand down the inside to make it matte. so it absorbs light. How would you say diffuse, right? It would be diffuse. I want to make it diffuse. On the outside, it's fine. I mean, it's got that shiny look. It looks like sunglasses. But on the inside, we need to have, that matte in order for it not to be distracting. That pretty much covers the hardware. We got some standoffs in here, kind of for your nose to rest, like a nose rest. You can see one has already broken off, and it didn't take much. And I'll get into that with the software. They broke off pretty much like right away. And so I guess I can start talking about the software now that I've covered all the hardware. Yeah. Monitor here. Okay, so that's not my right monitor. So yeah. What else is there really to talk about? Okay, the cords. So you get this big long cord. It comes straight out, right? And then on the other end, we have sort of, I can't show it really because it's plugged in. Well, I guess I can unplug it. It's no big deal. I'm still streaming, so if I unplug it, we're not going to lose the stream, right? So it plugs into this like extension piece. And on one part, we have a USB-A, or whatever they're called, USB Classic, I'm not sure. And on this part, we have an HDMI. So I'm not sure what kind of a USB. I'm pretty sure 2 is fine. And then here is a C. And the C part is pretty much conformed to fit this, right? It's got like a bevel. Right? And then this side is the opposite. So they fit perfectly in there. For my computer, I have USB 3, but it's not display over USB 3. So you have to have that display over USB 3 in order for it to work, as well as for a phone, right? I ordered the phone hub as well, and unfortunately, my Armor 21 doesn't have display over USB-C. USB-C 3 or display over USB-C. So if you're looking at a new computer or a new phone and you're something you want, look for, display. It's like DP, USB 3, which is, I haven't seen yet, but apparently they're out there. I do have some other cords. It's over there. They're just like charging cords and stuff. There was the Android dongle, but I have it packed away now. So it's just a USB-C that plugs into your phone, and then it has like a block. And then on the opposite of the block is for an HDMI and a USB. And then that sort of, it plugs into this one, and then that one plugs into this one, which is plugged into the glasses, right? So it's one big long string. You got to go from your phone with the dongle, which is big and thick, and then it plugs into this, and then this plugs into the dongle, these two, and then this plugs into the glasses, right? So if you're expecting to, like watch a video off your phone on a bus ride or in a cab or something, you're going to have a lot of cords to deal with. Yeah. What else is there about hardware? So as well, hardware, we have the cloud compute box. This is an add-on bonus piece. You can get the glasses. There's a Switch hub, there's an iPhone hub, and then there's Android hub. The Switch hub is for Nintendo Switch and other things like mobile gaming platforms, I guess, so they have like a proprietary port. And then that plugs into, like this and like that again, right? Because the same sort of thing. It's a dongle. Whereas the cloud drive, what is it called? Compute box, cloud compute box, directly plugs right in. Right? We got a small port here that plugs right in. It says only for headset, and it's a USB-C inside there. And then beside it, we have the charging port. Don't be mistaken, this USB-C does not transfer files into the device. So this is just for the glasses, and this is just for charging. On the other side, we have 2 USB ports. So these are for external devices such as mouse, keyboard, or thumb drives. You can plug in a thumb drive, and then you can transfer the files from the thumb drive to the device, or you can just run the files from the thumb drive. Music, video, multimedia, APKs. I haven't tried APKs. I'm going to get into software in a moment, but more about the hardware device. We have, this big up, down, left, right, mouse, air mouse. It has an air mouse, a menu button, back, up, down, volume up, down. That's it. Just a logo and a bunch of serial information on the back. 800 megahertz. So that could probably last a while. 5 volts to 2 amps. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty handy. I like it. I like the cloud. This part, I do not like this stuff. I do not like these glasses. And I'm going to get into that now. We're going to start talking about software. So as I mentioned, the standoffs, the face rest, the guide, the nubs that sit on your nose, right? So I'm going to plug them back in here. So the nose piece is quite stiff. Like if you see, it's a little bit bent, and it's that kind of metal that I feel like if you bend it too much, it just snaps. So like it came out like super V when I first got it, and it was just clamping to my nose, and so it's really hard to get comfortable in. And I feel like I want the screen closer, so it says 120-inch screen, but when I put them on, it fits perfectly inside my 15-inch laptop monitor. Like when I take the blinders off, I can still kind of see my screen a little bit through the blinders, and it fits perfectly in my laptop screen, which is a 15-inch screen, right? So that's only about 1.5 foot from my face. So there's no advantage here for me. It's the exact same thing. I was hoping like I'd get at least a little bit more perceptual size, bigger, and I was hoping to be able to, turn down my scaling to 100%. Give me a second and I'll demonstrate. Like it's really hard to see things in these glasses, and they're uncomfortable. They sit forward. Give me a second here. I want to make sure. Yeah, okay. No, I don't want that. Okay, so everything just popped back up after I closed it. And then I want this. Okay, so switching to my computer screen here. This. I was hoping to change this to 100, right? And then you get more screen space to do things with, like coding, FL Studios, mixer panels, just more space for more stuff. Synthetic, more space. But it's barely, like I can barely get anywhere with 125 because I wanted, more. I wanted it bigger. I thought it's a 120-inch screen, it's going to be huge. And then I put it on, and it's only like 45 degrees field of view, I think. Put these on. And I knew that going in. I just wasn't, I didn't know that it would be so small. I figured, it would be a bit better at least. So if we go VR compare, there's this place on the net called VR compare, and it has a list of all the glasses. And currently the ones that are released, so let's go release date by release date, right? And then we go say standalone, say yes. And the best ones with a reasonable price right now are in fact, the Dream Glass series. So we got 4K plus 4K, and then should be here. Anyway, like I did looked at all the columns and stuff, resolution. We want like a high resolution, right? And yeah, the highest resolution is Dream Glass Flow, which is the one I have. I mean, it's no different than the other ones. But if we look at the field of view here, 43 degrees, right? I didn't think it would be so bad. And if we look at like a map of field of view diagram, I guess, we can see that, yeah, it's not really a lot going on. Where's a good one? Well, no, this one I was looking at. So we got 90 degrees, right? Can I zoom in on that? And then 45 is just inside there. And then the limit of human vision is 220. So we got the Pixma, Valve, Vive, GoPro, Oculus Rift, Quest. So it's inside that. So that's kind of important. I mean, 43 degrees is me looking at this laptop screen, it must be. And that's how much it is. Mind you, if you're sitting back or chilling across the room, it still stays the same size, right? So if I chill, I lean back or I'm laying on the couch or something, I still get this, 15-inch screen a foot and a half away from my face. But it's not really that great. Like, even when I'm watching movies on my laptop with it sitting on my lap, I'm still like not getting great detail. So the 90 degrees would be like a bare minimum. But these are the best, right? Out of all of them. Because everything else is like 34, 52, 40 at these resolutions. And then we start to lose resolution as we go down. HoloLens is 14 by 93, like 3 different degrees. And from there, it just gets progressively worse. So, yeah. Looks like the Rhino. I'm not sure yet. It's unreleased still. There's no price. And Dream Glass kind of sits on top. And I was really hoping that Flow would kind of be for me. But it's not. And because it's just so small, I was hoping, like I said, to get more out of it. And I can't. But along with okay, so here's more about it. So the standoffs, right? And then you got this curved piece of glass. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a curved piece of glass. There we go. Right. So I'm wanting to get, it says, align all 4 corners. So when I put it on my face, I can't see the 4 corners. Right? I can only see maybe 2. I don't know, something like that. I can only see 2 at a time. And when they're comfortably sitting on my face, everything's angled. So I'm constantly looking down, but there's nothing to look at because they're constantly on my face. So when I push the back down or I push the front forward, I can get a little bit crispier up there. But then I lose, it's blurry down here. The sides are okay-ish, but I shouldn't have to fight with this. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. It should be comfortable. I should be able to see all 4 corners. Right now, I can't see the time. It's just overlapping blur. Everything in the bottom corner is just crap. It's just crap over here and crap over here. I can't see my start bar. It's like 2 start bars. The top's fine. I can read the stuff up here. But yeah, no, it's just not great. And then say if I take them off my ears and angle them down a bit, then now I can see the bottom. But now I can't see the top. Right? And if I, push on the standoffs, right, the nose rest or whatever, and try to get more clarity, then my eyeballs are rubbing up against this angular glass. And if you can see the smudges, then it just makes it more blurry. And I still don't get, 100% crispy corners. So it's probably my face. Maybe I got a big face. And it just doesn't work for me no matter how I do. Even if I push, right against the glass, I'm still losing my corners. So I just don't think it was designed. Maybe this would be more for a woman, with their eyes closer together, or the form factor of their face, a smaller guy, I don't know, smaller nose bridge, something. It just doesn't work for me. So then maybe they should have, an XL version for people with bigger faces. And then you can kind of, like a male and female version, or just, just an XL version for a little bit bigger. Even then, I wouldn't keep them because I'm not getting anything bigger. Like I said, it's only 45 or 43 degree field of view. So I wouldn't say it's a 180-inch screen. I'd say 52 at max. Maybe 4 meters away from your face, like it says, 120-inch screen. But then what's the point of having a 120-inch screen if it's across the room? It's just not working for me. So more about the software. I've covered that. The standard broke right away. The way these sound, I feel like you can hear it clicking, right? I feel like I'm just gonna break it, and it's really rigid plastic. I mean, I wouldn't say it's cheap, but if you were relaxing and you fell asleep and you rolled over on these glasses, the arm is probably toast. That's it. Game over. And the price tag is $600. I'm not saying it should be metal housing or any better. It just, no. No thanks. And the guard is just really, I don't know, it does this thing. I don't know if it's just my unit that does that thing. It did come with a secondary pair, but they didn't come with a secondary pair of nubs. So yeah, it's pretty much toast. I'm sending it back. I'm fighting right now to get it sent back. And it's going to cost me $200 to send them back. And the distributor is asking me to cover their tariffs. Like, no. So, okay, so that's it for this hardware software. I can only get the computer to work. I couldn't get Android to work because my phone doesn't, do that. I can do screen casting. So, like, I'm not sure if I can cast from. I'm not even going to try because I don't care. But I'm sure I could cast from my phone into the cloud, right? Drive into the cloud thing. However, there's this thing on Windows called wireless display, right? So if we go into the Windows here and we go display settings, I set it up, but it doesn't appear to connect to a wireless display. Of course, it's not going to show up now because they're not, they're not running like that. The cloud has to be used for in order to do cast to, but you can cast to from your phone. I don't know about your phone. I don't know about the Android or. However, I for sure know I can cast from my computer screen. However, I can't do screen mirroring. So if ever I want to connect to my computer, I have to use this 2-piece cord. And the cord isn't very long, so the laptop has to sit on my lap consistently. I could get extenders either for the C cable and then, put it across the room. I did get a wireless keyboard for this specific reason. It has a touchpad and ergonomics. So I could put it on my lap, right, and get the laptop off my lap, then put my laptop across the room and use the glasses. However, the cord's not long enough. So I need an extension cord, either an HDMI, a USB-A, or a USB-C. So I'm not sure which is better. I'd probably get more utilities out of buying an extension for HDMI and USB-A, opposed to, I think I actually have a USB-A extender, opposed to a USB-C extender, because there's not a lot of application right now for USB extension. It'd be easier, it'd be cleaner. I just feel like I'd get more utilities out of an HDMI extender. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the hardware as far as the glasses go, or hardware software. You can connect to the computer. Can't connect to the Android because my phone can't support it. And the third thing is the cloud drive. It obviously connects to the cloud drive effortlessly, and that's directly through the cord to the port. And so about the software in the cloud drive, it's mostly in a different language, an Oriental or Asian language. Oriental just means the whole eastern side of Eurasia. So that, that includes everybody. So I guess Asian would probably be the better term. I'm not sure if it's Chinese. It looks like it's Chinese. It came from China. So on the website, it shows like Netflix and Hulu and YouTube. Well, the YouTube that's in here is called SmartTube. And when I go to search, the keyboard doesn't pop up. So I can't do any searching. The only way to get to the video I want is to go on my computer and then put the video in my watch later and then log into my account on the SmartTube and then look at my watch later list and load it from there. That said, it does do 3D well, it does do 3D well, but the visual, like I said, is too small. So it does, it's not really 43 degrees. It's okay, but it's not great because I lose my top corners, my bottom corners. No. And then, so it talks about a file transfer app, right? There's a file transfer app. You log into a website, you set up your box and you say, okay, file transfer. And then you log into this website online and it shows your device on that website. So it's streaming. It's like a local LAN thing. So it's talking to your Wi-Fi, your router, and it's displaying this box in there. However, when I click on my device, the website doesn't load. Like, it doesn't load my device in the screen. So I can't upload anything that way through whatever cloud service that is. Again, it's all in a different language for the most part. And yeah, it doesn't work. I've tried Chrome. I tried Firefox. I didn't try Edge because Firefox and Chrome, that's good enough. If Chrome can't handle it, then nothing is gonna. So the YouTube app is a SmartTube app. Upload doesn't work at all. There's other apps in there, but I don't know what they are because it's all in an Asian language. And I do believe there is Netflix. I didn't try it because I don't have a Netflix subscription. And I pretty much, I played that out. The only time I'd probably get Netflix once a year just to catch up on some of the series that are on there, like Castlevania and stuff. Some of the other series that are Netflix only. However, I watch them all, and then I get bored of Netflix. Anyway, so not a lot going on for software. So how do we get stuff in here? Well, I had mentioned earlier that you plug in a external hard drive or a thumb drive or a soft drive. Now, when you're installing apps or you're moving stuff in, the device pretty much just sits there, becomes not inoperable, but you can't do two things at once. So you can't start moving in media and say, go listen to a song or browse the web. That's another thing. There's no web browser on here. Like I said, I never tried bringing in APKs, though. It is an Android system, and installing things does come from an APK. I don't know what Android it has. It doesn't say. It just says system version and then a number. So it doesn't actually say which Android it is. And I haven't tried installing anything. I'm not gonna. Maybe, if I ever get another one, I will. But it's not going to be a Dreamcast Flow. More about the cloud drive. There's different sizes. I think it's like 3296, 128, 256. So this is 256. I got the biggest one because I didn't want to fumble with stuff, and I just wanted, lots of space in case I needed it. Better to have and have not needed. On the inside, it just says there's an external SD card. So I imagine if you pop this thing open, it'll probably void my warranty, but there's just an SD card in here. And it's a 256 SD card. So I imagine you could probably just get like the 9 gigabyte one and then buy yourself like a proprietary or a high quality brand SD card like Kingston or Western Digital instead of whatever's in here. I imagine probably isn't that great of a brand or quality SD card. I'm not saying that it isn't. It's guesswork, right? It's shooting in the dark. So more about the software here. We have, the air mouse. So when you click and hold the air mouse, it's like must be an accelerometer. However, it goes into this proportion where it's like wrist snapping. You gotta all the way to get from one end to the other. It's not just this, smooth little gesture thing. It's like you gotta really give her to get this thing, and then it goes sideways and it slants and it coasts, and it's just not that great. I prefer using the arrows. The menu button is a menu button. The back button's a back button. Volume up and down. There is spatial sound on the glasses. They obviously have no bass because the speakers are tiny. They sound okay-ish. Not the greatest experience for like movie watching or whatever because there's no bass. You'd probably want decent headphones, over ear, in ear, something with some bass range, or even just link up to monitors or something. And it does do Bluetooth, so I could Bluetooth right into these monitors and have my movie running from there whilst I'm wearing glasses. Like I said, it was supposed to come with short cord headphones, but it didn't. So I don't know what those sound like. Obviously, they're probably not, audiophile grade. Not great headphones. Not much really else to talk about with the cloud compute box. It's kind of slow when you switch into 3D mode. It takes a few seconds. Even when like the video is over and it switches to the next video, it switches back to 2D and then into 3D again. So that's not great. The online media or the inside media player sucks. You put repeat all and you try to play a folder and then it stops playing after that first video or song. It does come up bundled with Buck Bunny 3D, so you get a little preview of some of the 3D stuff. Like I said, there's not a lot of apps or anything going on. This is where you cloud from. You are stream to device from. So I was really hoping it would have screen mirroring, but it doesn't, as far as I can tell. Power button. When you turn it on, it turns on and it lights up with the lights. However, to turn it off, you actually have to have the glasses on and then click, shut down. It's not like you can hold the button and it just shuts itself down, which would be nice. Yeah, I guess that's about it. So all in all, I don't like it because it's just not for me. I don't know if it's better for someone else that maybe has a smaller face and, they can get right into the picture, but I can't get right into the picture. I'm losing like 15% of the picture, top and or bottom. The corners are just not crispy for me. And then, the center's fine because you got the glasses part where you can, adjust your sensitivity or your correctional lenses built right in, which is great. It just, I can't see the edges, and I want to see the edges. It's not very immersive because it's such a small thing, but it's not supposed to be immersive. It's supposed to be extended reality, but it isn't because it doesn't have motion tracking. It's pretty much just a screen attached to your face. There's no extended reality here. There's no augmented reality because there's no camera. So I'm not sure what category it falls in. It's a monitor strapped to your face. That's pretty much all it is. And it doesn't do a very good job at that as far as like seeing all four corners. So I've been going for almost an hour or half hour now, a little over half hour. I'm going to call this review here. All in all, I'd give it like a generous 7.5 and a 7. Because I mean, it's there. Actually, no, let's go about 6. Because it's not there. It's almost there. But losing like the corner of your screen sucks. Losing the corners of your screen. So you're watching a movie and you want the full view. You don't want to lose 12%, 15% of your favorite TV show that's, like sci-fi or action-packed or fast. Like if I watched Hardcore Henry on here, I feel like I'd be missing out. 3D stuff, I don't know. It's too blurry. And like I said, to get that full experience, you got to press it against your face and then your eyeballs are smudging the screen and nah. So yeah, 6.5, that's being generous. That's about it. Hopefully I can work this out without having to break the bank and get them back. Yeah.